Hi, I'm Sasha. Welcome to the channel. Now that it's been a year that I've been playing with the Rogers family save, I'm going to share with you how I was able to enjoy playing with the same family for over a year, their stories, how I was able to choose them to be the family on my channel, and why maybe you should be giving this kind of gameplay a chance. How was I able to enjoy playing with the same family for over a year now? I was filming for my Machinima Family Secrets, and at the time I was playing with the future timeline of that save. And I stopped playing with that because I felt I needed to share the prequel before getting to the real tea of the current timeline I was playing at that time. Filming a Machinima can be fun, but as someone who enjoys the game, I was sad because the other saves I had just wasn't giving me that family-esque feeling that I got when I was playing with that save's future timeline. So I was just scouring the city, seeing my extras in that save, and I bumped into a family, and I noticed that there is a wife and a husband, and they have twin boys, and I was like, oh, this family is cute. So I decided to play with them, but then I realized, like, this family is fun. It is important for me to know that Rob and Shakira are from the gallery, and Mello and Zaven also, I found them from the gallery. A lot of my extras from the Machinima save are extras from the gallery. It makes my time so much easier instead of making sims all day, all night. Since I already had a family created for me, I started to work on their families. In my mind, they definitely have a big family, and having an extended family as gameplay is just so fun to me. In my personal life, girl, Sasha got a big family from both sides of the family, and it is fun when we're in a room together. Now, do we probably low-key annoy each other? Maybe, but it gets like that with the Sims too, so that makes it extra fun for me. And it's messy sometimes, it's cute, it's wholesome. You get to have all that variety for yourself in family gameplay, especially when you create extended families. So like what happens when you have events, like you can make it a theme event, you can send your child sim to stay with their grandparents. I have, like, sometimes Auntie Ira come over and stay with my main girl Shakira's home to help cook for the Harvest Fest. I have two siblings living together, even though they're adult siblings. I had elder in-laws live with their child again. I just like having these different family dynamics. Point number 2. Yes, sometimes playing with families can be boring. That's why I recommend having different kind of families in your save. If I want a really wholesome, family fun gameplay, I will play with Rob and Shakira's family. If I want something young and free and going about your life, I'll play with Rita Bolden. If I want to play an auntie going out about town and trying to date again, I once upon a time was playing with Mama Ira. There are so many stories, you do not have to limit yourself to one. Recently, like I said, I'm playing with Rita Bolden from that save. She's a young, awkward writer who's going around town interviewing Sims for book material. Number 3. Make it flexible. Don't make your gameplay too rigid. Example, Shakira never had a college degree in her young adult years, but I felt in her adult years she couldn't go up in her career, so I decided maybe this is the time she needs to go to college. And lo and behold, high school years pack is out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're the perfect candidate for me to use them to go to Copperdale, and then she could, her and her husband, they're not gonna split, but like at the moment it's easier for her to be in Copperdale with her sons, and they experience the high school years pack. So like that's why I say don't make it too rigid. Like if there's a new pack coming out and you feel like maybe there could be a candidate in your save, do it. Like, why not? Like, I don't think I've ever regretted a random storyline that I've thrown out like that. If you ever notice my gameplay, I like to have couples not have the same traits or careers or anything really. Like, I try to sometimes make it a little bit of a challenge. So Shakira is the artsy food critic. Then there's her husband, who's the nerdy rocket science. Mickey has an economics degree and her husband has a culinary degree. Have different love stories. stories. Rob and Shakira are high school sweethearts who were judged by their family members for being too young and dumb in love and not to repeat Shakira's grandmother's tough life with Grandpa Myron. So there's Ira and Charles, who were best friends who ended up confessing their love for each other. There's Mickey and Kane, who are college students who fell in love, and they came from two completely different backgrounds. You know, like she's from the city of San Myshuno, he's from Del Sol. She's just an only child, he's like the oldest of three. So like Kane's mother is an actress, Mickey's mom was a cop. So it's just, I love having that, just completely different backgrounds and just making a family out of it. I love it. Point number 5, different parenting styles. So Robert comes from an overbearing family who pushed him way harder than he should be, to the point that this man has level 10 skill in almost everything you can imagine in The Sims 4, okay? Because of this experience, Robert is not a disciplinarian parent. Like, he really rarely ever checks his kids. Like, I can count with one hand how many times that man has ever raised his voice to his kids. While Shakira, she does come from a strict family, she's upholding that tradition. So while they do have that in common, they both see it different for themselves. And so I kind of like that. I kind of like that she's a strict parent and he is not the strict parent. And her family's still strict, where Rob's family's just started to become chill like him, by the way. So it's very fun and strange and I love it. So number 6, that's where different background stories come for your sim. Rima, who comes off as a perfect to most people, is dating a shady guy who works as a villain, and many people question why she's even dating him, but they're too scared to ever really approach her because Rima is a mean person who will go off on you, okay? So I like to have that. Like, there's that sweet wholesome story, and then there's a Rima story who's like slightly strange. And not only that, I really can't tell y'all the full tea on Rima because there's a Machinima coming out, like Family Secrets. Once it's done, finally y'all can kind of see she's a side character to the Machinima, like sort of like a secondary main, I would say, almost. But yeah, can't wait to share y'all the tea. So then there's point number 7, raising different ages of Sims makes the save fun. So I loved having to raise Olivia as a toddler. She's just so cute, and her personality, oh my god, it was, oh y'all, I can't. At one point when Mickey was a teen Sim, she moved into the Rogers family home. And I was raising a toddler sim, a child sim, and a teen sim, and they just had their own little lives, and it's just fun. Like, I love giving my sims all their own lives in their own age groups. Now, the objects, you really can't do much, okay, other than just cuddle and have everybody say hi. But outside of that, that's okay. Once they become toddlers, they have a full life for them. Number 8, back to not so wholesome sims. In embracing the randomness, there is nothing wrong with having messy gameplay in your family save, okay? Like, y'all know, families be coming together and trying to spill some piping hot tea, and you already know it. So if you know, the most hottest tea recently that's straight and fresh from Willow Creek is Rita Boldens was on a date in a restaurant, and basically the guy and her were fighting. Not like they weren't swinging, you know, they were throwing purses at each other. And long story short, she called her brother and was like, you better beat this guy up. And her brother went to the restaurant and beat the guy up. So that's definitely something the people of Willow Creek will be talking about for sure. Try for your Sims to have a life, okay, like a life outside of their lot. I try my best to make sure every life stage for a sim is memorable. Example, Sophie Elena used to go to an active preschool day using the daycare mod. Zabin used to be in the Scouts, and I had him go to a summer camp. I know some simmers get bored of raising toddlers and child sims, and sometimes giving them activities make gameplay a little different. Watching Sophie go to preschool, I noticed how shy and awkward she was, and I don't know if I would have noticed that if she's always at home all day. Also, focus on making your lots fun, but if you get bored of a lot, you can always remove it and add another lot. You could even rotate lots. I have a pool lot in Willow Creek, but if I want it to be a restaurant, I can change it to a restaurant during the autumn to winter months. Spring, summer, you know, I could add the pool back at its spot, and boom, rotating lots, okay? Number 10, make theme parties. If it's spooky day, have your Sims dress up. If it's a black party, dress your Sims up. I had a baby shower and I made my main family dress green and wear frog hats because in my mind, she was referring to her baby as Froggy. Last but certainly not the least, mods made my gameplay fun. Now, was this sort of almost a little bit barely mods when I first started playing with the Rogers family that initially made me happy? 100%. But having like the realistic birth mod, you know, those Warong CC objects, like videos I've actually done on my channel on my how-to playlists, like tips videos and stuff like that. Those like functional object mods really make the gameplay just so enhanced for me. Now that I shared how-tos, let's talk about the stories, family tree, and lore. Before we get into this family tree, I just want to let you know that the Rogers family will be in red, the Adams family will be in beige, the Grant family will be in a light blue, and the Boldens will be in sort of a darker shade of that blue. Robert Sr. and Jocelyn Rogers are college graduates and they believe in education being the most important thing in life. They live in a fancy 3-floor penthouse in San Myshuno. They were strict parents at first, but realized their parenting was too much once the boys weren't living with them anymore. Rob Jr. and Glenn moved out as adults and didn't keep in contact like that with their family. They felt maybe they've pushed their sons away. Miss Jocelyn missed being a mother and promised she would change her ways, and so she adopted Susanna Rogers and Alyssa Rogers. They kept their promise and they weren't too strict and overbearing to their girls. So you can see now through this family tree that they have 4 kids. 2 out of the 4 are married right now. There's Robert, who married Shakira, and then there's Glenn, who married Serena. Robert Jr. met his wife Shakira in high school and they were swearing up and down that they were soulmates, and the adults in their lives felt like they were exaggerating. But when Shakira was 19, she told her family she wanted to get married, and both families were against the wedding. Due to the alienation from their family, they moved away to the suburbs, aka Willow Creek, and she was pregnant, by the way, while she was moving away. They had Mello and Zaven while Rob was still in university, hustling with many jobs, and Shakira was a new food critic. Of course, the family welcomed a fox and 2 daughters, Olivia and Sophie. The twin boys are currently teens in Copperdale, but one of the boys, Mello, got their love interest pregnant after messing around in the Ferris wheel, and they welcomed a boy. And y'all, this is exclusive. His name is Rock Rogers. So now the Rogers family tree is 4 generations in. Glenn went to college and met the beautiful, charismatic Serena Moss, and they secretly eloped the last year of university. Once they completed university, they moved back to San Myshuno in a little apartment, and 12 years into the relationship, they welcomed a son, Sean Rogers. Susanna right now is in university, but she lives at home and dreams of being a writer. Alyssa Rogers is a child, so she's just having fun. If you don't know season 1 of the Rogers Family LP, you'll see a lot of these characters back then, and I think some of the spin-offs they're there, but I just wanted y'all to see one last close-up look at the Rogers family tree. You see Rock, I ain't add no photo. Rock is a mystery right now. Now that you know the Rogers family T and tree, let's move to the Adams family, aka Shakira's side of the family. Garcelle and her husband Myron met when they were teens, and in my mind they had friends in common where they'd hang out, and one thing led to another. Miss Garcelle became a teen mother to her daughter Crystal Garcia. They had a tough life making ends meet and didn't have an education in university. Crystal, a free spirit but with limits, met Matthew Adams, an aspiring writer who wrote words that can move mountains, according to Crystal Jail. They had 1 daughter together, and they raised her with a lot of rules and had expectations in life for her, but Shakira didn't fully listen to them, okay? She said she gonna follow her own destiny. Oddly enough, when Shakira hit 30 and had 3 children, her mother mysteriously got pregnant with her husband's baby and came knocking at Shakira's door, literally in labor. It was so random, and I embraced Sandra Adams, okay? So Matthew has two younger sisters, Ira Adams and Rima Adams. Rima is noticeably younger than her siblings, so it shouldn't be shocking to see the age difference between Shakira and Sandra, I guess. Rima has a fiance and his name is Owen Neal. Owen is from Selva Dorada originally, and he's a shady individual and is in the villain career. They have twin boys together, and I assume the twins, genetics come from the Adams side of the family. Let me spill some tea on Owen. If you don't know, Owen is related to another dude from Selva Dorada. If you know the family secrets, you already know. I ain't saying much. Ira married her best friend, Charles Grant, and they have one child together, Mickey Grant. When you open the family tree, you will see that, from Matthew's side of the family, the Adams, you'll see the Grants are starting to show up. They're in blue, like I told you in the beginning. But yeah, there is Rima with her twin boys at the end there, and they're holding on that beige color, y'all. It's barely beige on this family tree. Let's say goodbye to beige and go to the color blue and see the Grant family. Charles Grant, an economist, fell in love with his best friend, a strange cop who loves the law, Ira Adams. They friend-zoned each other for so long, but one day Ira confessed her feelings and Charles felt like it was a dream and they were inseparable. However, Charles had an illness and he passed away while his daughter was a teen, and this put Ira Adams in a deep depression. Ira lost weight rapidly and she was gloomy. Things became worse when her job fired her soon after. Her dream job, her dream partner, all gone. Her family did everything to help her. She denied help. But when Shakira and Rima kind of teamed up together, it helped her go to therapy and seek help. Shakira took in Mickey, and Mickey finished her 12th grade year in Willow Creek. Then she moved away for college. While Mickey was in university, she met her husband, Kane Bolden, in an elective class. They were in 2 different programs, and what are the odds that they met in class? They have 2 kids together and a dog. Before I talk about the Boldens, I still want to talk about the Grants. So once you open Charles Grant's side of the family, you'll see that he has one brother and his name is Maximus Grant, who married Charlene Grant, and they have 2 kids, a son named Max Grant and a daughter named Cheryl Grant. Max married a naturalista queen. Her name is Norma, and she makes soaps and candles, and my mom, she's just super into that natural DIY stuff. They have 2 daughters. One of the daughters' name is Maxine, and the other daughter's name is Noni. Cheryl is currently engaged to Kareem Simpson, and they have 2 pets, I guess. Well, if he marries her, he's gonna have to take care of these pets, Fabio and Jim. Here's some Grant family tea. For some reason, Max, his wife is cheating on him, right? And Max Jr. is cheating on his wife. Cheryl is with a married man. Well, now he just got a divorce, but still there is something weird with the Grants. They like destroying their relationships. I don't know how Charles is sane and kept his relationship with Ira after all these years. It keeps me up at night. I mean, I didn't play his life for me to fully know if he would, but it could be different because Charles was genuinely friends with Ira, so he might have a different kind of respect for her. So let me show you Kareem Johnson's family. This is his ex-wife, Jessica Simpson, and they have 3 kids together, Araya, Amaya, Jussie, and Rosie the dog. Here's a final look of the Grant family tree. Basically, it's just 2 brothers and the generation of kids they have. Let's go back to Charles Grant and see who his daughter, Mickey Grant, married, aka the Boldens family. So once you open Kane Bolden, you'll see that he is a junior. So there's Kane Sr., who married Aspen, and you also see Aspen's parents, Ellen and Jacob, and also Aspen has 1 brother and his name is Landon McLean. Kane Sr. went on vacation and saw the beautiful actress Aspen McLean. She was the hottest young actresses out at the time. He's a successful lawyer, a good looking man, and he feels like he got, the charisma, the pull to try to shoot his shot at Miss Aspen. Okay, so They did the tango. Miss Aspen was trying to be like, I'm gonna let him think he like me, but she actually really did like him. You know, she was trying to play a game back with him. And eventually, you know, she really didn't like the Del Sol glitz and glamour, and it wasn't just doing it for her like that anymore. She'd rather have the money that she saved up from acting and Kane's money to go shopping, the vacations, and just enjoy life. Okay, maybe work was just not meant for Aspen Bolden. So, because of how famous she was, she had her kids in homeschool, and eventually her relevancy went down like maybe a decade later. Sometimes she wonders if her parents Ellen and Jacob McLean are proud of her, or if her brother Landon respects her. Aspen has 3 children with her husband, Kane Jr., Garrett, and Rita. Kane graduated with a culinary degree. Garrett loves fashion, so he recently just got a job in that. And Rita is a writer, and she also just got a job for that too. So, you know, seems like it's just a family that are just pure artists, and I wonder if they're going to gain the success and popularity of their parents. You should give this gameplay a chance. You get to have a variety of different families. I've already explained this multiple times, but you get to watch their family members, their children, their pets. Everybody's just so growing, and it's an experience to play it. So if you're sort of, say example, bored, right, and you're like, maybe I don't want to play with these families. Recently, while I was on a break, I played with scenarios and actually posted about it on the community tab about how I'm a scenarios girly. Like, I want Sims 5 to have scenarios. I don't think I said it in the community tab. I tweeted it, y'all. I love scenarios. It gives my side characters life. Like, recently I was playing with a sim, her name's Juliana, and she and her husband, they were working together and they were hustling, and she was kind of like in a loveless marriage, but in my mind it's like, I really adore you and I want you to join my family. So I added her to Serena Moss's side of the family, which Serena Moss doesn't even have family. So, you know, she's married into the Rogers family. If you don't know, she's married to Glenn Rogers, and yeah, y'all, I don't care, I'm gonna do that. I am shameless, say that if you want. I played with another alien scenario, and my sim Zaven was playing with them. Now, they ain't related to anybody, but it was kind of fun to see Zaven try to join that story. I was like, okay, if you want to be a character, child, go ahead and be a character. Copy or save. This is a tip I would give you. Copy, and when you thought you didn't copy again. No, but for real, like when I was playing the scenarios, I have it as a copy save, and if I feel like that sim should be part of my original save, I'll move him there. But I don't want to mess up with the timelines. Like, if you want to have a side spin-off and maybe there's a pack but you're not really sure you want to integrate it in, and you don't know where it's gonna be. Like for me, when I played MWS, I used a copy of the Rogers save, and then eventually I moved like Mickey's husband side of the family and all that to my current save, because like actually I even forgot I did that, and the only reason why I remembered was when I started to play in Del Sol Valley recently. I was like, wait, I don't remember placing this lot, and it's actually the EA lots. Like I barely ever really care for them. I always replace it and add my own lots. When you're around town, you'll see your Sims going on dates. If you're at a restaurant, you might just be seeing them interact. I'm not gonna lie though, the downside is you get so distracted. You get so distracted. You're just like, wait, who's that? Are they flirting with them or not? They're not cheating on this bus. They better not be. Oh my god, who are you hanging out with? Who's this lady? I never seen you talk to a day in my life. Like I don't think I add it into my videos like that. I try my best to edit that out, but if only y'all know how many times I did that. It is the truth. I can confirm this happened to me so many times, but it's fun. You get to get tea, you get to know, like, I don't know, I'm nosy and I like it. So another one is, you know, you get to experiment with parts of the game that you really don't have to commit to. Like right now, recently, like I said, the alien scenario, y'all, I had my sim go to the Sylvian Glade. I never went to the Sylvian Glade. You know, it's that weird world in Willow Creek. I never get to explore stuff like that. Like, I want to go to Six Sum. Like, Rob is a scientist. Like, I should go to Six Sum. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. Like, I want to try to go different things and try different things. Like, I don't have to make myself in one area. Like, I want to try it all, and I have a bunch of characters who can try to fit into these storylines. I hope this video inspired you to try to play some family gameplay style, and I want you to tell me your experience if you are playing similarly to me in the comments. Let's talk, let's chat. You teach me something that I should probably add to my gameplay, please. And if you learned something new, tell me what's the new thing you learned in the comments. I will be working on another part of how I make The Sims 4 fun for myself and fun that maybe you would add for your own gameplay, of course. So thank you so much for watching this, and I wish you a lovely, lovely, lovely day. Take care.